G'day and welcome to another episode of Kiwi Car Life, and today I'm going to be telling you how to prepare yourself and your car for a track day and then what to expect when you get out on track for the first time. First, let's go over what you'll need. Obviously you're going to need yourself a car and some overalls and a helmet, and you'll also need to pay some money and sign some forms. If you want to take passengers as well, in most cases that's allowed, but they will also need to bring with them some overalls, a helmet and sign some forms. Right, in terms of getting your car prepared, make sure that it's had an oil change at least in the last few months or so, because you don't want dirty oil rolling around in here when your engine screams to 8,000 RPM. Next, make sure you've got plenty of tread on your tyres, because they'll probably wear down a little bit through the day and you need to make sure you've still got enough to get you home. Finally, make sure you've got heaps of tread on your brake pads as well, because chances are if you're using stock pads, you're going to burn them right down to the middle in just one day on track. If you want to go above and beyond, I'd also recommend that you get some track pads and high temperature brake fluid, because that's going to really help with both brake wear and brake fade when you're out on track. Probably also be a good idea to at least change your trans fluid and differential fluid as well, because I know in my experience, if you're running old thin oil in an old Honda, especially like this, there's a very good chance when that oil heats up it's going to get really thin, not work very well, and you're going to have gears grinding when they never did on the road before. Thirdly, it's probably a good idea to check over your whole cooling system and change your coolant as well, because everything under here is going to get very, very hot.
It also pays to check your tyre pressures. You want them to be about 5 psi lower than the factory amount listed in your driver's door jamb. Also, remove some weight from your car, like the spare tyre and loose items inside, so they're not flying around while you're going around corners.
And with that all done, it's time to take a road trip to your nearest track.
Once you arrive, you'll probably have to go and sign in and attend a driver's briefing where they tell you the do's and don'ts of this particular track day. For the morning at the track day I've gone to, they do various training exercises like a corner apex practice, a ABS braking test and a slalom. But for the sake of time, I'm going to jump straight into the open sessions and show you what lines to take and what to expect when you're out on track.
Alrighty fellas, here we are heading out on track for the first time. First thing to note, when you're joining the track, watch for cars coming on, because they'll be going pretty quick, and the last thing you want is to have one of them run into the back of you when you join the track. The next thing, just look after your car, right? Especially if you're in a road car like me, they're not really designed to do this. And sure, you can do the modifications like what I've done to help with that, but you're just going to have to accept that your engine's going to get very hot. So make sure you're watching your coolant gauge. If you've got an oil pressure gauge as well, watch that in the corners too, because when you go through corners, all your oil's going to slosh to one side, and your engine might be struggling to sort of pick it up if it's only got to pick up on one side, say. In my opinion, especially if you're in a road car, you don't want to be driving at 10 tenths, because you're just going to break stuff. Cars aren't designed to do this really from factory, unless it's like a Porsche or a McLaren or something like that that's actually designed to do this right from the off. Now, in terms of your brakes, be prepared for a lot of brake fade. As they get hot, it's almost certain that your brakes are going to cook themselves. So just be wary of that, you know, and if you start to feel your pedal going to the floor and not a lot happening, slow right down, do a slow lap to help cool off your brakes, and then you can be on your way again. Now let's talk about racing lines. Simplest way to do it, outside, inside, outside. You want to start on the far outside corner of the track, go into the inside, hit the apex, and then right out to the outside again. So here we go, I'm clipping this apex here, now I'm on the outside of the next corner, I'm going to brake, turn in, hit the apex with my inside wheel, turn out into the inside of this next corner here. Now this back one here is kind of a bit of a funny one, you kind of want to go out wide first, and then turn in early, so that you can carry a bit more speed onto the straight. Salika's going for the overtake. 140, 150, 160, 170 or so on the brakes. This corner likewise, come out wide, clip the apex here, nice and easy, right to the outside of the track, then give it some beans. Easy. too much fun. Another thing you notice me doing a lot is heel toe downshifting. It's really important to save your clutch. Gee, this guy's taking some weird lines. Really important to save your clutch. If you're trying to downshift at like 6,000–7,000 RPM on your just the clutch alone, and you're not revving it up, you're just going to absolutely ruin your clutch, you know, and that's the last thing you want, because that's the hardest thing to replace. You're going to burn through tires, you're going to burn through brakes, but at least they're easy to replace. The clutch you want to look after. If you want to overtake a car that's pretty much the same speed as you on the straight, easiest way to do it, leave yourself plenty of room and then carry more speed than them through the corner. Here we go, we're going to come in here, carry more speed, and you'll be able to get past easy as. Leave them plenty of room. There we go. Gee, he's getting pretty close there. I'll overtake these guys on the brakes. Nice and easy. Plenty of room to get past. Likewise here, we'll carry a bit more speed than this guy, and we'll just come out, overtake him smoothly, give him plenty of room. And there we go, that's the chicken flag. So first session is complete. Do a slow lap, give your brakes and engine a chance to cool down. And then when you get back into the pit lane, there's another important note that you want to make sure you do. Don't put your handbrake on, because if you do and your brakes are really hot, when they cool down, they'll weld themselves to the rotors. Well, there we go. Thank you very much for watching that episode of Kiwi Car Life, and I trust it's given you all the information you need to get yourself and your car ready to go for your next track day. But above all else, no matter what car you have, I would absolutely recommend you get out on track at least once, because it is an awesome amount of fun. It's just like go-karting, but you get to drive your own car around, and if you bring all your mates along too, it makes for an awesome day out, racing each other down the back straight and through the S's. And I'll put out a few more track day related Accord videos in the next couple of weeks that I'll link down here. But if you want to see me taking my Accord and a Prelude SIR on track last time, you can click over here. And if you want to see me recommending 6 modifications that are going to get really solid power gains on a car like this, then click over here. And I will look forward to seeing you again next time.